Hey, what's up, dude? So while I'm standing here cooking this bacon and eggs, figured I might as well give you a little bit of a preface about stuff that's happening. This might end up being a long video. I don't know. If you got the nuts to sit here and watch it, see I ironed my shirt today. No, just kidding. Anyway, so I'm gonna keep putting this stuff up online because the short version is, well, it's not really the short version. The version that, however long it is, I had an epiphany a few years ago. I keep forgetting how old I am. It was probably 10 years ago now, right? Something like that. And everything about my life changed. My outlook on how I saw different things, how I treated people, the friends that I had, it all changed. And I don't know that it was something that I was actively trying to change. It just kind of happened. I was talking to my son about this the other day. Since we're doing these stories and all that stuff, it's important to keep all that in perspective, that when I was a kid, I was a bad kid. And not just a little bit bad. I don't know how I fooled so many people, but I was a bad kid. I did abhorrent things to my family and to my friends, things that if I did to me, I would never forgive me for doing. I'm not proud of anything that I did like that. I can't change any of that stuff that I did, but I'm not proud of any of it. And some of those things, you know, I tell you one thing that happens that's bad and you think, wow, and then the next thing you hear, you're like, wow, that's worse than, you know, and that just keeps happening over and over and over again, because it was almost like I was collecting how many wrong things I could do when I was a kid. And it wasn't, I shouldn't say it like that. It wasn't like I was collecting. I didn't have a mind or care for the stuff that I was doing. I was very selfish, very self-involved. I spent a lot of time, you know, cheating and lying and stealing and fighting and just a lot of stuff. And again, you might hear about it as this whole thing goes on, but I can tell you now, one of the things that I have come to appreciate, and one of the things that I wish, this is the term youth is wasted on the young, I wish that I would have realized how different my life could have been when I was younger, like I did when I was older, right? So, somewhere in the middle of there, I had this awakening, and I don't know if it was tired or what happened. I think was the truth just kind of came to fruition for me, and all this stuff that I've done, I now talk about, because the way that I see it in the end is, you know, once I die, and I'm not saying that I hope that's anytime soon, once I die, everything about me just kind of goes away, right? Now, some of that will stick around for kids and maybe some of the friends and whatever, but once they're gone, then it's all gone, right? And then nobody knows anything. I'm nothing but a placeholder in a picture book if I'm lucky, right? But everything else that I did, it's all gone. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where I worked. Doesn't matter who I loved. Doesn't matter what insurance I had. Doesn't matter what car I drove. You know, none of that matters once you're gone. So, and I'm not saying that I want to go do that, but one of the things that I realized was facing the truth about things is hugely beneficial. You know, for me to spat off a lie about something when I was younger, it was like my job. I mean, I could do it. I could convince anybody of anything. And now I just realize that if I'm telling the truth about things, I don't have to worry about it. Like, it doesn't bother me who thinks what about what I'm doing or things that I did do. I don't deny them, but I like to be honest about it now, because there's nothing, I don't have to make something up to cover for something over here because I said about this, you know, all that all goes away. If I'm honest about everything, and, you know, granted, I've been honest, when you come to that realization, there's some things that honesty makes real difficult to get out. But once it's out, it's a huge weight off of you, because you don't have to make up a story about it anymore. You don't have don't have to make up an excuse. You don't have to do whatever. So, anyway, all that to say, I'm going to put my life out there because in the end, who freaking cares, right? Yeah, it might entertain some few things. Might people, I don't know. There's going to be people that write to me and say, "What an asshole!" You know, I can't believe you did this, that, and that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But it's almost therapeutic for me to be able to put all this stuff out there and use it as a conversation starter to show somebody that I'm not the same way that I used to be, to enhance the rest of my life that I have left. So anyway, I appreciate y'all reading the stuff that I put up there. Again, the things that I did aren't always going to make everybody happy, but I'm happy to put them out there and be honest about it. So anyway, all to say that, just to say, have a great day, y'all. And if you got questions, ask me.